Bravery is also to take risks, to just do things, and no matter what the consequences could be, just trying things out. If it's not working, it's not bad. It's just a learning curve, and you will get there where you want, but you have to try. Hi, my name is Magda Tedla. I'm a nutrition scientist and I'm born in Hamburg and I grew up in Hamburg. My parents are from Eritrea. I grew up in Germany in a quite, let me say, normal surrounding. So I grew up with a single mother. She worked very hard for us, but also took care of like a good diet. She's very into a healthy diet, cooking every day, and also African cuisine. So she made sure that we learn a lot about different African countries and different cuisines. And that's actually my beginning of my cooking or nutrition experience. Bravery is for me when you can stick to your values, even when times can be very rough, that you can still stick to your path, be polite and kind to people. That's very much important from my point of view, I have to say. And bravery is also to take risks, to just do things, and no matter what the consequences could be, just trying things out. If it's not working, it's not bad. It's just a learning curve, and you will get there where you want, but you have to try. Well, to leave the comfort of a monthly paid job, to have all the securities, what we are used to in Western countries and where we are all relying on, it's, I would say I'm a person who likes to take risks. And I'm not a crazy person, but I'm someone who, when I have my values and I have certain beliefs, I like to go for them. And I would say that was the motivation. And every time when I was working for a company, after I studied, I realized I have to work not for my values, I have to work against them, especially as a nutrition scientist. And that was something what I didn't like, because when we go studying, we do it for a certain knowledge, what we want to have, right? And especially nutrition sciences is such a broad field, and that made me very unhappy. So I realized every day, like, there was this small idea when you were studying, why don't you go for it? That was actually the thing what happened. Like, every time I was thinking about this idea, what would happen if I would do that? So on one point I was so unhappy working for like a small startup. I worked there for a couple of years, and I realized, like, actually, the founders were very young and I liked them, but still, like, the job wasn't like my thing. And I realized, look, like, those guys, they were just like popping up without like anything with their brand, and it went well. And I was like, Magda, this is like a sign. You should really start your own business. So, and that's what I did. Like, when we agreed on not like working together anymore, I just started. I just tried, and I was happy because actually, like, every step I took, it made me really happy till now, because it was something that was driving me while I was studying, and that's actually the reason. So Magda's food program is a nutrition education program which is designed to educate kids and teens and also adults in different settings about a healthy diet. We work with kids and teens in schools and kindergartens, go there every week, work with the same group for about 4 months and train them on how to have a better diet, to prevent illnesses which might be developed when they have a bad diet when they get older, right? Like diabetes and all that. So that's the main aim of Magda's food program with the cooking classes. We have also a lot of lifestyle classes, which are also the parts where I'm educating the people about Africa. So I'm doing a lot on vegan diet, vegan food of African countries, and we do like fun classes when it comes to food. We didn't get the information our businesses will get shut down. It was more like from the beginning, because we worked with schools, And we are also on the cultural part. Even that I do nutrition education, also in the evening with adults and all that, it is still culture. And on that point, we were the first who got shut down. So we didn't get an information ahead. Like other branches, they were like, yeah, in 2 weeks, we're going to close this and that. But we were the first. Like it was just like Corona, like right in the beginning, they closed the schools. So we had no option to think of like what to do next. We had to live on like our savings, I have to say. Like seriously, it was like a really, really tough time. And I was the only one who was sure that's going to end very soon. Let me say, I have a long to-do list. And I think I will never finish my to-do list in my entire life because I have so many things what I want to do. And when I was sure that my business is shut down, I was like, well, like now you're sitting for 2 weeks at home, nothing is happening. You can start with online classes, which I did, but I still had time. And then I realized, you know what, why not working on my to-dos? It's overdue, why not? Since people were asking me a lot about my own product, I was thinking of, oh, well, I'm searching the world for the right product for myself. Why not trying to think of something what I could also sell too? And that's actually the thing. It wasn't the easiest, but I have to say, since it was always my goal to do certain things, I worked on the next thing on my to-do list, which was my own product. My product is sea moss, is a red algae from Jamaica, and it's very nutrient dense. Well, why did I start with sea moss? It's because I'm a vegan and I'm always looking for the right amount of nutrients, omega-3, fatty acids, and so on. And since sea moss is all over the world, very known that it's very high in nutrients, algae in general are very known for that. I tried it myself and then I got to this conclusion that it's a multi-talent. I can use it as a mask, I can use it like for myself, like as like a supplement, we can use it for beard mask, all that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And it's still natural, like there are no preservatives in there, just water and the algae. So after trying it for around about a year, I decided for myself, why not, start selling it in Germany? Then I have my own product and I can also recommend it people I coach, that it makes also sense that I start doing that. People who need a lot of security, they would make it differently than me. They would maybe save more money, try to get all this, what a lot of startups do, they try to get investors and all that stuff. Well, yeah, that's true, and you could always do that. But since I'm someone who I'm depending very much on myself, I like to try things out before I presented anybody on the world. Even my closest friends didn't know that I'm will start sea moss. I just when the product was done, actually, my friends saw the ready-made jar with all the labels and everything, and they were like, my God, what did you create in a couple of weeks? So that's how I am. I cook the things myself and then I start testing it with people, because it's I have to be convinced by something. I don't like to convince everybody else to buy something just because I want to earn money. For me, it's more important that I'm convinced. So if you like it, you buy it. If not, it's fine too. And that's how I do it with sea moss. It's still, if you are convinced that you need nutrients and that sea moss could be something good for you, you should start it. I can recommend you, I can give you some advices, but I will never go on the sales direction where I really force people to really try everything out, and that's not how I am. And yeah, I would say, yeah, they might say I'm crazy, I'm a little bit too risky, but still it leads to something good, I know what I'm doing, so. I think it's in general very difficult to say you have to do this step or this step to get to the point where you want. I think it's important to ask yourself, what is it that you want? And how much do you want it? Is it something that you think that if you don't reach it, you won't be happy at all in your life? You will see, on one point, you have to force yourself to go that way. So what I want to say with that is, ask yourself very much, what is it that I want? And is it so crucial that my life is my happiness is depending on it? That's the first thing. But I also think it's very important to ask the question before you start with a business, is it something that drives me? Is it something that makes me happy? Is it something that when I wake up in the morning, I want to jump out of my bed and I really want to do it? Because that should be the motivation. That should be the only motivation for you to start a business. Not money, not people, not everything else. Because when time gets very rough, you will not reach your goal if you don't have the right motivation. So it's better to check the motivation. Hi, I'm Magda Tedla, and I want you to be brave. War richtig jetzt in die Kamera oder in die? Das war schon richtig, ich war voll confused, ich wusste gar nicht, weil du nimmst auf und er sitzt da und ich so, okay, guck ich jetzt ruhig. Nein, du bist so geil.